गोपी भाग्यं मधुव्रात शृङ्गीषोदधिसन्धिग खलजीवितखाताव गलहालारसन्धर. This is a shloka about Lord Sri Krishna, and like any other shloka, it is written to praise him. But what if someone tells you that this exact shloka written to praise Lord Sri Krishna also represents the value of pi exactly up to 31 digits? Interesting. So, what does the shloka about Lord Sri Krishna has to do with the value of pi? Today, we will go on this journey together to unravel the story behind this. Long before the 10 numerals 1 to 0 were introduced and the notation for representing numbers were standardized, words like ekam, dve, trini, chatvari, etc. seem to have been employed by the Vedic people. A listing of series of odd numbers and multiples of 4 are found in Yajurveda, indicating the antiquity of numeration by words. In fact, in Krishna Yajurveda, one also finds a listing of powers of 10 in several places. Besides listing numbers, the Vedic corpus also presents evidences to show that the additive and subtractive principles were employed while coining words to coordinate the numbers. It is not difficult to see that this can be easily extended to represent large numbers having 3, 4 or more digits. However, it does not take long to realize that this method of employing word has some inbuilt problems. First, it becomes extremely cumbersome, particularly with increase in the number of digits. Thus, there was a need for developing more efficient ways of representing numbers. This need was felt all the way more when one had to deal frequently with large magnitude of numbers, particularly in subjects like astronomy. Besides this need, the Indian astronomers and mathematicians had to meet one more constraint, namely the rules imposed by metrical composition. These two requirements, beside other considerations, made them invent different schemes for representing numbers, among which the Katapayadi and the Bhuta Sankhya systems are the most commonly employed ones. The Katapayadi system of representing numbers as words uses consonants and vowels to represent the digits. The working of this system has been beautifully brought out by a single verse attributed to Shankaran Varma's Sadaratnamala. नण्यो वचक्षशून्यानि संख्याः कटपयादः मिश्रे तुपान्तहलसंख्या न च चिन्त्यो हलस्वरः. नण्यो वचक्षशून्यानि. If we think of the consonants kh, kh, g, g, n, ch, ch, jh, jh, n, here n appears in the 20th place and nyo in the 10th place. So nanyo means no and nyo. Achaha. Achaha represents all the vowels. Acha is the mnemonic employed by Paninian grammar to represent the vowels. So this verse tells you nanyo achaksha shunyani means nanyo and all vowels represent 0. Sankhyaha katapayadaha. This means ka, ta, pa, ya. So the series starting with ka, ka, kha, gha, gha, na, cha, cha, za, za, nyo represents numbers 1 to 9. Nyo stands for 0. Similarly, the series starting with ta, ta, tha, dha, dha, na, ta, tha, da, dha, na represents numbers 1 to 9. Na stands for 0. The series from pa to ma represents numbers 1 to 5. And finally, the year series, year to ha, and sometimes ra, represents numbers 1 to 9. So the word Sankhyaha Katapayadaha means the remaining 9 digits 1 to 9 are represented in this way by the consonants. The beauty of this system is that we have more than one consonant representation for a particular digit. Now, in Sanskrit, we have words in which not every consonant is attached to a vowel. Example, when we say Swati, we have two syllables, Swa and Ti. Here, Swa consists of Is, V and A, and Ti is made up of T plus E. Now this is not tagged with any vowel. So we have a vowel tagged only to V. So this was Mishre Tupanta Halasankhya. Here Mishre means when we have conjunct consonants like Swa. Tupanta Halasankhya. Anta means end. Upanta means close to end. Hence, when we assign numbers, we only consider the number of the consonant which is close to the vowel. Here, is dropped and only va is considered as a syllable to be numbered. Finally, it says that nacha chintyo halaha swaraha. Here, swaraha also refers to vowels. Recall that earlier the verse said all the vowels will be representing 0. Here it clarifies that vowels which are tagged to consonants should be ignored. So a vowel can take value 0 if and only if it appears on its own. Hence we are finally left with th and v. Now v represents number 4 and th the number 6. Finally, while writing the number, the ordering should be reversed. That is, the first syllable should go to the units place and the second syllable to the tens place. Hence, Swati represents the number 64. So, the complete working of the Katapayadhi system with all its rules can be explained simply through this beautiful verse. Nanyau vachakshashunyani sankhyaha katapayadaha Mishre tupanta hala sankhya naja chintyo halaswaraha. Here again is a beautiful verse representing the values of pi. The most prominent use of this system was as a mnemonic to remember the astronomical tables. In fact, the Vraruchis Chandravakyas literally means the Vakyas or the sentences representing the astronomical positions of the moon. Madhava has used this system in his sine and cosine tables. Just have a look at this beautiful creation. Now, let's get back to the verse that we started with. Enough of me chattering about the Kattapayadi system and how beautiful it is. Won't it be interesting and helpful to have an hands-on experience in decoding these verses? So, follow me to the following URL to get that hands-on experience and some other surprises. See you there. Hello again. If you would have followed me here, you would be seeing this page. Yes, it is a live site and yes, it is hosted on our IITGN server. What you are seeing is the output of a summer research project organized by History of Mathematics in India or HOMI, an initiative by IIT Gandhinagar. I was lucky to be a part of this project. The plan was to study the topics in mathematics developed and used in ancient India. and to create some web applications that would give an hands-on experience into its working. What did we exactly do and how did we exactly achieve what we did is a story for some other time. Right now, let's dive straight into the Kattapayadi number system. So here is our verse Gopi Bhagyam. Now, if you try to decode it, you will get the following output. First, there will be two decodings of the given verse, normal decoding and the reverse decoding. Now, these are a sort of a misnomer because in Kattapayadi number system, when you decode a verse in the standard form, this number associated with the first syllable, year 3, takes the units place. The number with the second syllable takes the tens place, and so on. So in reverse encoding, it will be the reverse of that. That is, the number associated with the first syllable will be the most significant digit. The second syllable will be the second most significant digit, and so on. So when you decode the Gopi Bhagyam verse into the reverse Kattapayadi decoding, you will get the value of pi correct up to 31 decimals or first 31 digits, including the 3. Now let's see some other examples. Now if you try Rama, it would give the number 52. Ra is associated with number 2 and Ma is 5. Now if you change Ma or A to A and make it Rama, still the value remains the same, because as we have seen in the Kattapayadi number system, when a vowel is stacked with a consonant, it is ignored or its value is ignored. Its value will be considered only when it stands alone. For example, in the word achyuta, here a stands alone and is not tagged with any consonant. Hence, its value 0 is considered in the final number or the final representation. Hence, achyuta is decoded to number 660. Finally, we have an interesting example. Ayur Arogya Saukhyam. Now, there is a well-known writer called Melapathur Narayanam Bhattatiri. He is author of a book called Narayanyam. It's a book about Lord Vishnu, and he ends his book with a string called Ayur Arogya Saukhyam. Now, Ayur Arogya Saukhyam literally means, or it translates to, may the God bless you with Ayur Arogya and Saukhyam. So, but if you decode this string with the Kattapayadi number system, you get a 7-digit number. And this 7-digit numbers tells you the exact date on which he completed his text. So what this 7-digit number represents is a Kalidina. Kalidina means the number of days fast from the Kali Yuga, uh, number of days from the start of Kali Yuga to that date. So he completed his text after this many days from the starting of Kali Yuga. If you use Malayalam calendar to calculate the exact date, it will be around some 14th or 15th or 16th century. Now finally, we have seen how do we decode in this number system. But wouldn't it be fun to be able to encode a number using this number system? So we have an encoder app where if you enter a number, it would give the possible words or word clusters that you can use to represent that number. So first it will represent some encodings for that number in the in standard form, then the reverse form. Then it would give a word clusters. Now be aware that these are the word clusters and not actual words or phrases. So they may not have some they may not have some proper meaning. So take them as just clusters of two words. So again, you can play around with this at your own time. and also move and see different move around this site and look at different tools that we have. Also, every tool has a Google form attached to it where you can give the feedback about a tool. What did you like? What you didn't like? Are there some any bugs that you noticed or not? And yeah, have fun. Thank you.